Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Miriam Khan. First, the headlines. Counting of votes is in progress after conclusion of polling for by-elections in 35 constituencies of national and provincial assemblies. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Accountability says government plans to sign agreement with China and UAE to check money laundering. Indian troops once again resorted to unprovoked firing at Chirikot sector along with the line of control. In occupied Kashmir, joint resistance leadership has urged India to pay heed to clear message emanating from the rejection of election drama by overwhelming majority of Kashmiris. In Afghanistan, 22 security personnel were killed in separate Taliban attacks on checkpoints today. Iran president says the United States is seeking to change government in Tehran. And now the news in detail. Counting of votes is in progress as polling process for by-election in 35 constituencies of national and provincial assemblies came to end across the country at 5 p.m. 370 candidates were in run for 11 National Assembly and 24 Provincial Assemblies seats. Overseas Pakistanis also exercised their right to vote through I-voting for the first time. The Election Commission has directed presiding officers to send election result to returning officers and the Commission through the result transmission system after completing counting of votes. The ECP has asked the presiding officers to reach the Office of Returning Officers if they face internet or any other problem in transmitting result through RTS. Government has finalized a broad-based mutual legal assistance law to obtain the evidence from foreign jurisdictions about the financial crimes and mega corruption cases involving Pakistanis. This was stated by the Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Accountability, Shehzad Akbar, while addressing a news conference in Islamabad today. He said the law will soon be placed before the cabinet. He said we will be enforced through an ordinance and then presented before the parliament. He said the law is more open and will empower the National Accountability Bureau and FIA to carry out the investigations as per international treaties. Shehzad Akbar said a bilateral treaty is again being conducted with the Swiss authorities, which will enable the country to get the details of the bank account opened by the Pakistani nationals. He said Pakistan has already signed a treaty with Britain, which will help speed up the investigations into the different high-profile asset cases. He said agreement will also be signed with China and UAE for exchange of information and joint investigations to check the money laundering. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and Communist Party of China signed Memorandum of Understanding in Islamabad today to further strengthen links between the two parties. The document was signed by the PTI Vice Chairman Shah Mahmood Qureshi and the head of the delegation of Communist Party of the China, which is visiting Pakistan. Talking to the Chinese leader, Shah Mahmood Qureshi said both Pakistan and China enjoy excellent relations, which will further strengthen. He said the scope of the multi-billion dollars China-Pakistan Economic Corridor project will be further expanded after the mutual consultations. Pakistan Telecommunication Authority has started sending SMS to all the mobile subscribers to create the public awareness about the device identification, registration, and blocking system. This system has been introduced to curb illegal imports of the mobile sets. Any mobile device reflecting non-complaint status after the 20th of this month will be blocked as per PTA and device identification, registration, and blocking system regulations. Pakistan Telecommunication Authority has implemented a system called as DRIBS, which will simply make a non-compliant headset useless. The system will facilitate legitimate device importers and mobile device user and improve overall security situation. This is Radio Pakistan, giving you this news. The 17th meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Heads of Government concluded in Tajik capital Dushanbe with the pledge to protect multilateralism and the free trade. In the joint statement, the member countries agreed to continue the work of consolidations and multilateral trade system and fight against the unilateralism and trade protectionism in any form. The statement also called for the greater trade facilitation and investment. On the occasion, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang called on SCO countries to conduct feasibility studies for the establishment of a SCO free trade area and the development of institutional agreements for the closer regional economic cooperation. Indian troops once again resorted to provoked firing at Chirikot sector along the line of control, injuring the 8-year-old boy. According to ISPR, Pakistani troops gave a befitting response to the Indian fire. In occupied Kashmir, the joint resistance leadership has urged India to pay heed to clear the message emanating from the rejection of the election drama by the overwhelming majority of the Kashmiri people. According to the Kashmir Media Service, the leadership comprising Sayyid Ali Gilani, Mirwais Umar Farooq, and Muhammad Yasin Malik, in a statement issued in Srinagar, said the people of the Kashmiri have no faith in fraud election, as it is a mere of deception played upon them by the successive governments in New Delhi to hook-wing the international community. In Afghanistan, Taliban militants killed at least 22 security forces, including a district police chief, in separate attacks on security checkpoints in two Afghan provinces today. The police chief of Mizan district of the Zobel province was killed in armed clashes with Taliban insurgents on Saturday night, whereas 21 troops were killed by the Taliban at two checkpoints in the district of the Poshte-Rud of the province. The Taliban also captured 11 soldiers and seized their weapons. The Taliban have ramped up attacks in strategic provinces ahead of the parliamentary elections due to be held this week. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says that the United States is seeking to change the regime in Iran. Addressing the student at the Tehran University, he said that the current US administration is the most hostile that the Islamic Republic has faced in the 4 decades. Saudi Arabia says it will retaliate possible economic sanctions imposed by other states over the false allegation. The state news agency SPA, quoting an official source, said that if any action is taken, Saudi Arabia will respond with a stronger action, and the kingdom's economy has an influential and vital role in the global economy. The source stated that the Kingdom of the Saudi Arabia, as a platform for revelation and the Qibla of Muslims, has played a prominent role throughout the history in achieving security, stability, and prosperity of the region and the world. It has also led the effort in combating extremism and terrorism. Saudi Arabia has been under pressure since senior journalist Jamal Khashoggi disappeared on 2nd of this month after visiting the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. Thailand's Therawat won Chief of the Naval Staff Asian Tour Open Golf Champions at the Karachi Golf Club today. 70 international and 16 national golfers participated in the championship. The Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Zafar Mahmood Abbasi, was the chief of guest on the concluding ceremony. On the last day of the competition, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Zafar Mahmood Abbasi, played invitational match. And finally, the weather report. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.